right. I wanted to talk a little bit about how I used AI to create this website and then a specific tool on this website. I'm not a web designer, I don't know all the code. I'm not a user experience designer that knows how to lay things out so people can understand. But I'm going to show you how a very faint idea I had, which started with this bias explorer, turned into this whole website. So I started with ChatGPT. And what I did is I have this paper I wrote. And this paper, um, I don't know if it'll preview for us or not, but it's just a paper about a study I did comparing some things in AI and asking for grades and looking for bias. And I wanted to create a tool. I said, I want to create a tool on my website that allows people to compare their own prompts using quantitative methods. To start with, I want something simple. Okay, I want to connect APIs of different LLMs. Let's start with Gemini. And I said, what would be the best way to build this? My website is built using WordPress. So I had a general idea what I wanted, but I had no idea how to do it. So ChatGPT gave me some pieces, a front end UI, a back end, went through, it gave me all this detail, suggested all this stuff. And then I said, okay, I'm really new to this. Can we work through it a step at a time? I said, I have Visual Code Studio, so can you use that to help me develop the code first, then put it on my website if that would help me. So I really only know how to use this is called Visual Code Studio for coding because I've used AI in a previous project and it told me how to use it and to download it. So then we're going through if you want a sandbox, you have a local WordPress dev environment. It gave me some options. It showed me how to get that set up. And you can see here that I got that set up and we went step by step. If I didn't understand something, I was like, I don't get it. Help me with that. And it would break it down for me more. Some of the code would work, some of it wouldn't. Um, Sometimes it would say copy it into here. And so I like using screenshots a lot. So I just put a screenshot and I said, does this look right? Um, and it was able to say if whether or not it was right or not. At one point, let's see if I can find it. At one point, I put in a picture I had drawn, like a hand drawn picture. Um, Basically, it's just any way you can put in information and work with that information. Um, Showing screenshots of what I got. One time I put just like a hand drawn, something like this. I said, okay, I want to make the form flexible for future changes. And I put in this, took a picture of this handwritten thing, and I said, I want it maybe something like this, and it helped me go from there. So using that, I got a very basic tool. And it was nice and all. And I asked ChatGPT to help me improve it. Didn't really help very much. And so I went to Claude because I knew that Claude might be a little better. So I said I created this plugin and I gave it all the files for it. I need to make it more user friendly. I want to improve the visual look. I had some basic ideas and it started helping me develop it and develop some better things. And eventually, let's see if I can find it. Here's like it's not the interface. I was hoping I could find really quickly, but eventually it basically gave me the code um, for the. I mean, you can see some different things that we started working on and building up. Eventually, getting different code that I could use. And then moving on, I continued trying to improve it. And this time, um, I had it again, and this is what I ended up with. Now, this is the code here for the UI, the interface. I even gave it the colors I wanted to use and things like that. And it got better and better. Later, I had to go through, it gave me the code, but I had to go through and clean up the code. So it was a long process. But little by little, I was able to build something, test it. If I had problems, go back to the AI. One thing I found is that Gemini um, was usually much better at helping me with the code. So I would either, like, sometimes I would just paste something and say, can you help me find the error? Or I could, like if I do a new chat here, I can import code and I could put files, upload folder of like all my code I had created. And then it would help me work off of that. And Gemini was usually better for helping me refine the code. but a lot of time I got the visual stuff and the initial code from Claude because it was better, the visual stuff. So I had the tool, and then I wanted to build the website. And I didn't know how to build a website. I didn't even know what would look good and what wouldn't. So I did give it a roll this time. You're an expert user experience and web designer because I wanted it to have a good web experience, a good user experience. And I said, I need to, for a project, I have some ideas. Help me, walk me through the questions I need to think about to design it. I'm going to use WordPress and EasyWP. So instead of just jumping into doing it, I said, what do I need to think about? And it went through and it gave me a bunch of questions. And then I was like, can you take me through one step at a time? Because it was kind of overwhelming to get all these questions. And so it went through and it helped me think through what I wanted, um, what types of things I needed to do, what types of features might work. And then I said, let's start with something simple. And it helped me design basically what content even I would have on my website. So, what the look would be on it, as well as like this type of content. And sometimes I even like gave it, you can see on the web page. I don't think that's going to work. You can see on the web page itself. Um, I even like on the research page, I would give it like examples of my research, and then it would help me write these pieces of it. Um, and so it really helped me figure out, how do I phrase this so that other people will understand it? How do I create it so it looks nice and it's easy to understand? How do I create all the parts of it? So, pretty much, this whole thing was built um, using AI from the ideation, just coming up with the ideas, how to do it. To these little video clips were made using Google's video creator, um, to refining it. And that's how it worked.